Avengers: Endgame was the epic finale, the culmination of a decade of storytelling. We saw heroes fall, others rise, and the universe saved. It was huge, emotional, and undeniably a landmark in cinema. But if you ask me which Marvel movie truly broke my heart and then pieced it back together, I have to say Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I think I know why it hits on a level that even Endgame couldn't quite reach. Let's break it down. Endgame was about the grand scale. It was about saving half of all life in the universe. The stakes were astronomical, almost incomprehensible. We were dealing with cosmic entities, time travel, and the fate of reality itself. We mourned Tony Stark and Natasha Romanoff, of course. Their sacrifices were powerful and defined an era. Tony is final. I Am Iron Man was a perfect book into the entire Infinity Saga. Natasha's choice on Vormir was a testament to her journey from spy to hero. These moments were designed for maximum impact on a massive scale. But Guardians 3, it wasn't about saving the universe. It was about saving one life. One single solitary life, Rocket Raccoon. And in that specificity, it found a universal power that is arguably more potent. Endgame stakes were abstract. Guardians 3's were intensely personal. We weren't just trying to save a raccoon. We were fighting for our friend, a character we spent 3 movies getting to know, love, and understand. The threat wasn't a purple titan with a magic glove. It was a ticking clock on a hospital bed. That's a feeling we can all relate to. The fear of losing someone you love is far more tangible than the fear of a universal snap. This is the core difference, macro versus micro. Endgame's emotional weight was distributed across a dozen major characters and the fate of trillions. Guardians 3 focused its entire emotional energy into the heart of one character. The movie's entire plot, every action, every decision revolves around saving Rocket. This laser focus allows the narrative to dive deep, much deeper than Endgame ever could with its sprawling cast. And that deep dive took us into Rocket's backstory. This wasn't just a flashback. It was a full-on emotional assault. We met Lila, Teefs, and Floor. We saw their innocence, their friendship, their dreams of seeing the sky. We didn't just hear about Rocket's trauma. We lived it with him. We saw him being ripped apart and put back together by the High Evolutionary. We felt his hope, and then we witnessed the absolute horror of it being stolen away. These scenes weren't just sad. They were profoundly disturbing and heartbreaking. The cruelty inflicted upon these innocent creatures felt so real, so grounded, that it was impossible not to be moved. It wasn't just a villain trying to conquer. It was a story about animal cruelty, scientific ethics, and the nature of creation itself. It tackled themes that are raw and deeply uncomfortable, making the emotional payoff that much stronger. Endgame's sadness came from loss and sacrifice. Guardians 3's sadness came from witnessing unspeakable cruelty and finding the strength to survive it. Think about the villains. Thanos was a complex, ideologically driven antagonist. He believed he was the hero of his own story. The High Evolutionary? He was just pure, unadulterated evil. There's no grand philosophy to his actions. Just a god complex fueled by pathological perfectionism and a complete lack of empathy. His cruelty wasn't for some greater good. It was for his own ego. He didn't see his creations as living beings, but as disposable property. This makes him a far more hateable villain. When Thanos was defeated, it was a moment of relief and victory. When the High Evolutionary got his face peeled off by Rocket, it was catharsis. It was justice. It was Rocket reclaiming his own identity, screaming, "My name is Rocket Raccoon." Not as a name given to him, but as a name he chose for himself. That's powerful. Now let's talk about the team dynamics. The Avengers in Endgame were a fractured group coming back together for one last mission. There was tension, history, and a shared sense of duty. The Guardians involved 3 are a family on the verge of collapse. Peter is lost in a drunken haze, grieving Gamora. Gamora is, well, not Gamora. Drax and Mantis are trying to find their place. Nebula is struggling with her newfound role. They're all broken in their own ways. The mission to save Rocket isn't just about saving him. It's about saving themselves. It forces them to confront their own pain and dysfunction. Peter Quill's journey is a perfect example. His entire arc in the Guardians trilogy has been about finding and losing family. In this film, he finally has to learn to stand on his own. The scene where he almost dies in the vacuum of space, only to be saved by Adam Warlock, is a powerful metaphor. He's letting go of his past, of his need to always be running, and finally facing the life he left behind on Earth. His reunion with his grandfather is a quiet, simple moment, but it's more emotionally resonant than many of Endgame's big battle scenes. It's about healing. It's about coming home. It's a resolution that feels earned and deeply human. And the ending. Endgame's ending was bittersweet. We won, but at a great cost. It was an ending. Guardians 3's ending, however, feels like a new beginning for everyone. It's not an end. It's a graduation. Each character gets a resolution that feels right for them. Rocket becomes the new captain, accepting the leadership role he was always meant for. Drax finds his purpose not as a destroyer, but as a father. Mantis goes off to find herself. For herself. Peter goes home. Nebula and Kraglin rebuild nowhere. It's a happy ending, but it doesn't feel cheap. It feels earned. It's a beautiful, mature message that family isn't about being together forever. It's about loving each other enough to let go and grow. It's about finding your own path. The use of music also plays a huge part. Endgame had an epic orchestral score fitting its scale. But James Gunn's use of the awesome mix is an emotional language all its own. From Radiohead's Creep, setting the somber tone, to Florence, plus the Machine's dog days are over, creating one of the most purely joyful scenes in the entire MCU. The music isn't just background noise, it's the soul of the film. It's the emotional through line that connects us to these characters on a deeply personal level. The final dance party is a celebration of life, of survival, of family in all its forms. It's a moment of pure, unadulterated happiness that Endgame by its very nature couldn't provide. So, while Endgame was the event of a generation, a spectacle of epic proportions that closed a massive chapter, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was a smaller, more intimate story that punched way above its weight. It traded cosmic stakes for personal stakes, a sprawling cast for a focused family, and a universe-ending threat for the life of a single beloved friend. It wasn't afraid to get ugly, to show true cruelty, and to explore the depths of trauma. But through that darkness, it found a brighter, more hopeful light. It gave us a story about healing, about finding your place, and about the profound truth that sometimes saving one person is the same as saving the entire world. And that's why, for me, it hits just a little bit harder. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Did Guardians 3 hit you harder than Endgame? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.